Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry is joining us to further the conversation on the situation with Dangote Refinery and PENGASSAN. Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for joining us on News Hour tonight.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you, Nigeria, for having me.
Okay, Doctor, what can you tell us about this situation with PENGASSAN, this instruction given to these 7 branches not to sell crude or gas to Dangote Refinery? Where's this coming from?
Well, this is what Petron's preliminary call for the government's intervention was all about, that we should be able to resolve issues without it cascading to this point. Clearly, you can see that this is the result of Dangote Refinery just wanting to do only what they want to do. There is nothing wrong with having your staff work in the union. We, even as small as we are, we let our staff to be in the union because it also keeps us in check. Now, every other opportunity Dangote has, he fights anybody. He started fighting with the IOCs, then he fought with NNPC, then he fought to say the government is not selling him crude oil in Nigerian naira, and then now he's having disagreement with the unions, he's having disagreement with DAPMAN, disagreement with the marketers, and now he has added a new fight to the market by now sacking his staff and therefore bringing PENGASSAN on the table to take the decision that they have taken. Now, who are you going to blame?
All right. So now, first of all, I'm sure people are out there are asking questions, and I've had some, comments from ordinary Nigerians saying that the government is trying to frustrate Dangote. Is that it? Because that's what it seems to look like to people out there. Is that really the case? One, are there really proof? Or rather, is there proof rather that he fired people? Where are these people? There's 3,000 people, they say, they're fired.
There is a letter he sent to all the staffs, and he published it around the media. Telling those staff, about 800 of them, to be locked out, and then they are not his staff anymore. And he called it restructuring. So, of course, PENGASSAN's reaction is to protect their members, because these are PENGASSAN members by the law. So they are not just PENGASSAN members just by choice, but by the law. They are meant to be protected by their unions. And this is what PENGASSAN was trying to do to make sure that their members are given the right of place. So, of course, if they have been told to stop working, then injury to one, injury to all. So that's what it is. There is really no fact that government is trying to frustrate Dangote. It has always been him crying wolf, crying foul, that government is doing this, NNPC is doing this, IOCs are doing that, there's a cabal, there's a mafia, so all sorts of things. And I don't know why it is so. When all he needed to do was to look for stakeholder partners that will make the job easy for his refinery. And this is what Petron has always stood for, that the government should intervene. Dangote should work very closely with all the stakeholders, because to my knowledge, every member of the industry wants Dangote Refinery to be successful. And the only way we can make it work is that all of us have a part in the division of labor to ensure that it works. So if Dangote all by himself wants to do from refining to storage to distribution and eventually going to be in retail outlets, that's going to be disastrous for Nigeria. And if Nigerians are looking at this with kid gloves, they need to wake up, they need to sit up, that what the concern we as stakeholders have expressed is that we do not want to concentrate so much power in one company's hands. It should be divided to every part of the industry so that Nigerians will be the better for it.
Okay, now this decision by PENGASSAN, what's the impact? What impact are we expecting to see that it would have on actually the refinery and, of course, by extension, Nigerians?
The refinery has put at abeyance PENGASSAN members. Don't forget that only few days ago, it was Nupeng. Nupeng issue is in the court with them, so it's sub judice. We cannot make any comments on that. But PENGASSAN is a new kettle of fish. So basically what it means is that every other day, Dangote is looking for new territory to conquer. So PENGASSAN has now taken their steps, and of course, it's going to impact negatively on Nigerians. Because the moment crude oil is not supplied to him, the moment gas is not supplied to him to fire his power, but don't forget, he also has a very dependable power system that's much more reliable than what we have in the country. And he's getting gas from Nigeria. So why won't Nigerians buy refined product from him in Nigerian naira? Because the decisions are just too many. One, he kept the PENGASSAN members out of his employment. Then also, he has now instructed that from tomorrow, petroleum products will be sold in the US dollars, even though it was signed just by the group commercial department. Nobody's name was there. But it's emanating from Dangote Refinery, and it's coming from the ex-handle of Dangote. So there's no reason not to believe it. So maybe tomorrow there'll be a rethink, and it might be rescinded, it might be withdrawn, and Nigeria will be the better for it.
Okay, you've brought us to this conversation now about the thing with Ipman and Dangote, talking about the fact that Ipman is saying by Monday, full price hike is going to take place if Dangote decides to sell its refined products in dollars. Now, he's citing that the crude he got for the crude for Naira deal has run short. Can you explain that whole concept to us and how this can be mitigated to avoid this situation?
Well, I'm not in a position to discuss or to explain what Ipman's position or Ipman's thought is. I can only talk about what I know. Stakeholders and members who are able to make. Petron is a potpourri of all the organizations. So anyone that ends up having a retail outlet automatically gets into Petron for the services we render. So I can only talk about Petron from beginning to ending. Well, from Petron's perspective, if the sales for crude oil goes on from tomorrow, Sunday, the 28th, and which, of course, many of our members that have already paid for product have not been lifting it. So possibility is that if they are asked to go and change their money, bring in dollar payments for that, that would be a very difficult call. And that certainly would mean that the retail outlets will be dry. And once the retail outlets are not wet, the chances that there'll be scarcity in certain areas or in certain stations across the country will be there. And that certainly will mean that Nigerians will begin to get back to the days when we are battling with weather vagaries and flood and non-availability of products and all of that. So my thinking is that Dangote should have a rethink. The Nigerian government should quickly come into place. The NMDPRA and the Federal Consumer Protection Council, it should come in place and be able to do their work, because these are the two organizations that we rely on at this time. And I believe that government has already set up a committee made up of two organizations that should wade into matters like this so that Nigerians do not suffer for any reason.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry, for your insights on the situation. Hopefully it's resolved soon and fast.
We hope that it will be resolved as fast as possible. We call on the government to intervene. We call on Dangote to have a rethink. He should have the mindset to work with stakeholders. Every one of us in the industry wants Dangote Refinery to be successful. We know other refineries are coming up, but the bigger, the more, the merrier. And that's what we are hoping to do, and to give Dangote the best of our services.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.